So in about 1 week from today, at about this time, I will be setting off on my last leg of the second annual David Goggins 4x4x48 challenge. In the first two videos, I talked about why I'm doing this challenge and why I'm fundraising for the Children's Center of the Antelope Valley. So if you have not checked those out yet, go ahead and go back after this video and see my why. But in this video, I'm going to talk about fundraising. I'm going to give you a few tips on how I fundraise for this. And I'm going to give you these tips while I'm doing my last run before that challenge. I'm going to do 10 miles today. This is going to be it. And I'm going to use the rest of the week to rest my legs and get ready for those 48 miles next weekend. So follow me along on this, and hopefully I can give you some good information, something that'll help you in your fundraising efforts. So the first tip is to find a cause that you're passionate about that you want to fundraise for. For example, I'm very passionate about helping kids who are being abused, families that are going through that. So that is why I am trying to raise money for the Children's Center of the Antelope Valley. If you don't have a situation like I do in the past, or any kind of trauma you're going through, but maybe you know a friend that is or a family member that's dealt with Alzheimer's, maybe with cancer, find something that you're passionate about, because then it's going to help you boost, it's going to give you that extra boost to want to succeed in this fundraiser and not just go at it very relaxed. So you want to make sure your heart is involved in the fundraising effort that you pick, or for the cause that you choose. So that's tip number one. Find a cause that is close to your heart. Okay, the next tip is to find a fundraising platform to share your fundraiser. For this one, I use GoFundMe. It's very easy to use. Has a lot of cool things you can do with it. It allows you to share and put updates. You can even put YouTube videos on there. So it's really easy to use. The only downfall is that they have a small fee. But even if the donors prefer not to have that fee taken out of their donation, they can also give you cash or check. And there is an offline option on GoFundMe where you can input that donation, which goes towards the tally of your fundraiser. So that's tip number two. Find a fundraising platform to share your fundraiser. So you have found a cause to raise money for that is close to your heart. You found a fundraising platform to share it with. And now the big hard part is, for most people, is sharing the fundraiser, because a lot of people feel bad about asking people for money. But I want to tell you some advice. Don't feel bad. You are doing it for a good cause. You're not doing it for to help yourself. You're doing it to help others. So when you keep that in mind, when you're sharing it with your friends, your family, you share it on social media, and you also want to tell them why you are raising funds for that particular cause. So it brings kind of a personal touch to it. And lastly, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So always keep that in mind. So the third tip of this is to share the fundraiser. Almost done, folks. Okay, so the fourth tip of this, and this is actually very cool for this challenge. So for the 4x4x48, there's 12 legs, which means that's 12 opportunities for you to involve the community. I think I made a dog mad there. Anyways, like I was saying, that is 12 opportunities for you to involve the community. And what I mean by that is by having each one of those legs be sponsored by a local business. And a good way of doing this is, well, first, ask somebody that knows a business that you know, because then that gets the ball rolling. Second, reach out to businesses through Facebook, Instagram, email, calling. But then another thing that is very good is just walking in. And this is usually better for smaller businesses because the owner is usually there. So walk in, tell them what's going on, and even if they say, hey, I can't afford it right now, which is understandable, it happens, just say, in lieu of a donation, how about you just share the fundraiser? Because many small businesses have a pretty good following. So that means that that'll get the word out to more people and hopefully get more donations for your fundraiser. So now we are here at McCoy Donuts here in Palmdale. This would be a perfect spot to start my 4 a.m. leg of this challenge. So I'm gonna head on in. We're gonna see what they say. Okay, success. They said yes, they were happy to participate. So they are gonna be my 8 a.m. leg on Sunday. So, and they provided me with some coffee and some donuts. You know, gotta test out the merchandise, make sure it's legit. Okay, finished my 10-mile jog, nice and showered, clean, ready for dinner. And I wanted to do this last tip. This is going to be tip number 5. This is actually going to be a few things that I've learned through my time as fundraising over these past couple years. I'm still new at this, but I've learned a few things that I think that might be able to help you. But first, I want to go into a little story. When I was a teenager, my parents were at a point where they did not provide for us, but they did not provide me or my sisters with clothing, food. So a lot of times I would have holes in my shoes. I would walk to school with a giant hole about that big on the bottom of my shoe. Through the rain sometimes, I'd go to school with soaked socks. I'd be wearing the same clothes over and over. I'd be lucky if I had 2 shirts to wear a week. So I would go out as much as I can, knock on doors to look for odd jobs to buy myself mostly a new pair of shoes, which at that time I think I would save up for Vans. I think Vans, they were like $30 back then, but they were the closest to kind of stylish to try to fit in with the other kids. So I would walk around all day long, knock on doors, and I would probably knock on 20 to 30 doors a day around that trailer park, trying to look for odd jobs. Anything just to try to save up for those shoes or some food or a new shirt or whatever other expenses I had at the time. And I gotta tell you, I think doing that actually helped me become a better fundraiser today because it taught me resilience. Out of the 20 I would knock on, I might get one person that would give me a job. They rake up leaves, like weeds, pick up trash, whatever they needed done. And so yeah, I learned a lot of skills back then, which helped me to be a fundraiser today. And that goes into my first tip. Be resilient, be persistent. Not persistent to be annoying, but don't stop is what I'm saying. If someone says no, go to the next one. Go to the next one. And another thing is, a lack of an answer does not mean no. Because I would go sometimes, knock on a door, wouldn't get an answer. Okay, so I'd log that in my low memory. Okay, that person didn't answer today, so let me go back there tomorrow. Maybe they weren't home, maybe they weren't available. And so that goes along with this now. Sometimes if you reach out to somebody through text, email, social media, and they don't respond back to you, just take it as, you know what, people are busy. They might have other things going on. They might see the message and within 2 seconds, they got something else going on, especially business owners. They're very busy. So don't take that as a no. Just take it as, hey, go back to them a couple of days later and say, hey, I'm just following up with you on this fundraiser that I reached out to you a couple of days ago. Just want to know what your thoughts were on that. And if they don't respond again that time, who knows? They're not interested, and that's okay. They got other things going on. Sometimes people just don't have the heart to tell you no, and that's okay. And second is, don't let yourself down by the lack of donations. You know what? It's you doing it is commendable, and that is something you should be proud of. And no matter what cause you're raising money for, even if you raise $5, $10, and if you don't even come close to your goal, whatever amount you are able to get for them is more than what they had yesterday. And any organization or cause is grateful for that. And you should be proud of yourself. No matter what happens, be proud of yourself for trying to do something good for the community, for those in need. That is a wonderful thing, and I am cheering you on from afar. I want to know, are you doing the 4x4x48? And what cause are you doing it for, if you're doing it for a cause? Leave your answer in the comments below. I want to hear all about it. I cannot do a fundraising video without asking for donations. The link will be below. It will be all the way until March 15th. We are raising funds for the Children's Center of the Antelope Valley. It is something I am passionate about because I grew up in a very abusive household, and that is what this organization does. They are helping prevent child abuse, along with many other services. So if you are watching this before March 15th, the link will be below. You could donate there to the GoFundMe. But if you're watching after March 15th, you can go to www.runforgrace.org, and whatever fundraiser we are doing at the time will be on the homepage. And you can just find it there. This is the third installment of this series. If you have not subscribed already, I would encourage you to please subscribe. I'd love for you to follow me on this journey or anything after that. I am Anthony. I am running for my best life, one step at a time.